right. What's going on, everybody? Whoa! That was a lot of energy right there. I know you guys weren't expecting that. What's going on, everybody? Sorry I missed you guys last night. Daylight savings time wrecked me, so I just wasn't going to make it. But today, I'm back. We got so much to talk about. It's good to be back. We're ready for a big week. And oh, man, what a start to the week. If you were anywhere but buried in a hole today, you just witnessed one of the craziest days in the history of markets. It was absolutely insane. And we're going to break it all down tonight. Trump, man, Trump is just, he is making the grifting influencers look like a bunch of tards like they are. So good for him. But we're going to cover that today. We got Trump, the Iran war, oil prices just up, down, all around, stock market crash. Nope, canceled. Elections are crazy. Trump and the administration signaling like really, really interesting signals, honestly, for those who've been paying attention. You guys know what I mean. You'll see it here. Tucker just going further off the deep end, the grifters, not knowing what to do with what's going on. Then we got some other wins. So lots to talk about tonight, my friends. I hope you guys are ready for a long show. Well, maybe not too long, but lots to talk about. I got so much to cover, so we'll see how it goes. But before I get started, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support. If you're on X, hit that repost. Just takes 1 second. Hit that repost, share it with the world. Let Alex Jones know that I'm out there. I'm watching him, and I'm coming for him, man. Coming for him. I only got about 300,000 more viewers to go. But
Alex, he's so scared of everything else. You know, one day I like Trump, the next day I don't. I can't choose which lane because Trump keeps shifting it up, and I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how to keep my viewers.
But he's still making his money. So, but Alex, come for you, man. Anyways, hope you're well. Let's get into the chizat. Say hey to everybody. Happy Monday, and then we will be rolling. So, Cass Inc., what's up, buddy? Numero uno tonight. Zigrooms, what's up? Frank Anastasio, D6 in the house. Alice Fordham, Kim Wiley, Jerry D. Are the Niners doing a rebuild? Nah, man. We're going for it. We just got Mike Evans. Zach Butterfell, what's going on? Scott Volkovich, Pat M. Linda Telly, good evening. Shogun, what's up, brother? Jason Yancey, AZ Tropic, Rum Dog, get it to win. Lochtefeld over on Rumble. Donna, what's going on? Roger Fishes, my bad. Make Iran Trumpistan. I like that. Candace, my show should be called Iran on Fire. Man, everybody would start calling me Miga then. They already think I'm Jewish because my nose. That's what they tell me. When they get really mad that I don't agree with their takes and that I don't agree with them that Trump's controlled by Israel, they call me a Jew. Yeah, they're really original people, I got to say. They're really smart, really original, really thoughtful people that come out and just have to call me a Jew as an insult, even though I don't think it's an insult, even though I'm not Jewish. Not even a little bit, not even a teeny tiny bit. Anyways, Roger had his head in a hole. So I'm going to catch you up then. Johnny Strahan, what's going on? Ray Sandoval, what's up, buddy? And who did it this time? City of London or the Jews? Well, you know where I stand on that, my friend. You know where I stand on that. Okay, let's get to it, shall we? You guys ready for this? Okay, so today, this is like the news that shook the world, and it wasn't even Trump live. He did an interview over the phone with a CBS reporter where Trump told her the war could be over soon. Quote, I think the war is very complete, pretty much. They have no Navy, no communications. They've got no Air Force. He added that the U.S. is very far ahead of his initial 4 to 5 week estimated time frame. Very far ahead of 4 to 5 weeks. It's almost like some of us were saying it would be about 10 days, 2 weeks long. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. But I really never thought it'd go over 4, and I thought 2 weeks was very possible. And we're looking like it could get there. Asked about Iran's new supreme leader, Khamenei, whose legs have been blown off and apparently doesn't even know he's supreme leader anymore. It says Trump is openly criticized. He said, I have no message for him, none whatsoever. He has someone in mind to replace him. As for the Strait of Hormuz, Trump knows ships are moving through now, but he's thinking about taking it over. Strait of America, anybody? Trump warned Iran they've shot everything they have to shoot and they better not try anything cute or it's going to be the end of that country. Oh, man. This is Trump feeling himself. This is him feeling himself. There's no spin in this. This is Trump being straightforward, just saying very honestly what he thinks. And more often than not, as we've learned, trust Trump. He's ahead of the curve. And boy, I think people are catching on because this is what happened today, which is one of the wildest swings we've ever seen. So oil on Sunday ran up to almost 120, just shot up. And Dow futures went negative 800. We were headed for a negative 2%, maybe 3% day today. It could have been the beginning of a crash with oil soaring like this. And everybody out there started saying last night and this morning, that he did it. He broke it. The market's oil. It's going to crash the economy. He's screwing us over. This war is screwing us over. Trump didn't think it through. They didn't have a plan. They weren't ready for this. And then with a snap of his fingers, a flick of his wrist, Trump comes out, says, I think it's about over. Starts showing that ships are going through the Strait of Hormuz, says, I'm willing to take it over. And oil plunges. In one day, oil went from 118 down to as low as $81, my friends. That is about a 25-30% swing in one day on oil. That doesn't happen. It does not happen. Not only that, the Dow was down 1,200 points at one point, finished positive on the day, almost up 300 points. Guys, this is insanity. Trump somehow, so it's important to recognize how much power he's exuding over the financial markets, because City of London is the financial center of the world. It's pretty obvious because of everybody's model. What it's showing is that they want the markets to tank. They want to crush the economy, to crush Trump. BAM's model's been showing this all the way back since last October when they shut the government down. And yet Trump keeps able to find ways to keep the market up. Again, this is a signal that Trump is in charge, man. He is in charge. He's got this under control. City of London, man, their biggest control was always the financial sector. That's the cabal, how they control things. It's always about the money. Always has been, always will be. Money leads to the power. Then the power, like they use that for the wars, it comes back to money. The oil comes back to money. Manipulation comes back to money. Political power comes back to money. It's always about the money. And the fact that Trump can do this with one little interview that just spread like wildfire. And the thing is people, the markets are proving people believe him. See, there's been all these narratives coming out that have been insane, that we're losing this war. The truth, I saw a crazy post today. So right now, the official tally of American troops that have died is 7, and that's 7 too many. It's horrible. Listen, I hate war. I hate war. I hate the violence. I don't want a single American dead. But we sign up. We know when you join the military, you know you might be called to do something. And if Iran ends up, if this works out and we never worry about Iran again, when those 7 died so that thousands others would live. That's how it works. And Iran has killed over 1,000 of our people going back to 1979. That's a fact. So we finally ended it, and 7 deaths sucks, but that's what soldiers sign up to do. And it's worth it if America advances. On the other hand, they've had several thousand die already, and almost none of them civilians. It's insane what we're pulling off, as well as almost all their leadership, their entire Navy, their Air Force, most of their missile launchers. You name it. We have decimated them. It's incredible what we're seeing as a ratio. This will go down especially if it finishes soon. And by soon, I mean in the next 3 months. 3 months is soon, people, for something like this. And I think it'll be much sooner than that. But even if it does take 3 months, it's soon. It'll go down as one of the greatest offensive military maneuvers in world history. Maybe the greatest, considering the factors and who's involved. It truly could be. So this is absolutely wild. Well, today I saw this crazy report going around that some people are actually believing that over 1,000 American troops have died. Now, I don't know how stupid you got to be to believe that, but if over 1,000 American soldiers have died already, there is no way you keep it a secret. Not in the age of cell phones. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen. There would be soldier leaks coming out. There's not. There's a bunch of morons out there grifting, lying, pushing Iranian propaganda, City of London propaganda, whatever it is to push the narrative that America is in a terrible place. I have people close to us in our group that are sending us videos about how this is actually a quagmire already and we're stuck. And yet, the money always tells the truth. Trump comes out, says the war could be almost over. We're way ahead of schedule. And what happens? The markets don't freak out. The markets don't signal that they think the war is going to last much longer. No, Trump's word breaks the spell. Oil goes right back down to normal. Absolutely incredible stuff. And on top of that, yeah, Kessing says he's not only talking about taking over the strait, but Kang Island or Karg Island too. Yeah, exactly. Karg Island's a strategic point. Bunch of oil stuff on there for Iran. Anyways, yes, you're right. Amidst all this today, though, this is what I titled my video tonight, because the White House out of nowhere. Listen, guys, at some point, I mean, you got to just wake up and realize what's really going on here. And that the conspiracy guys were right. Because today, this is what the White House posted. Actually, it was yesterday. Patriots are in control. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They are just, this is signal. This is absolute signal. This isn't trolling. What would be the point of trolling? Can you answer me that? There are people out there who are like, the Trump White House keeps trolling the Q guys. Keeps messing with them. He just loves to troll. Why? What good does that do? Because you could say that the people who followed the Q posts, who decoded them, who've been a part of this since 2017, are the most loyal Trump supporters of anybody. And I count myself in there. I've been decoding them and being a part of that community, and I wasn't on 4chan. I was doing it from afar. But since 2019, I came in late. I did. But I learned, maybe it was 2018. It was 2018. Anyway, I was a year late. But the point is once you understood it and understood what they were trying to communicate and not what everybody like, the lies out there are insane about all the Q posting and all that stuff. But this is one of the main things that kept going around. Patriots are in control. Well, we waited 4 years of Biden and it got rough and it got grim. And we started wondering, is this going to work out? But we held strong. And now we got our president, our White House saying this kind of stuff. And this isn't the first time. It's been several of these, but this is a made graphic. So this one's purposeful. This isn't they just retweeted something. And Jordan Sather responding it back to September 21st, 2018. We're at precipice, fighting back, remain calm. We're here for a reason. Patriots are in control. I mean, there you go, guys. I mean, this stuff is crazy. It's crazy. And to me, this tells me that Iran is the acceleration. Now, last year, 2025, was all about setup. It was getting all the pieces in place, rebuilding the military, with record-breaking recruitment, rebuilding weeding out the FBI, weeding out the DOJ, restructuring it, getting the economic package in place, which, remember what Trump said? This is basically my entire economic agenda in one package, which was one big, beautiful bill. Tax cuts, funding for ICE for 4 years. I mean, you name it. That bill was massive, everything that's in there. He said, that's basically my legislative agenda. He's so smart because he knew Congress was going to suck. So he had to use his strength when he was at the most political capital. So last year was all about setup. And it's like people are so, oh, I can't believe how little got done and Trump's breaking his promises. Really? Shut the border, weeded out the worst of the worst. I mean, there's a reason we haven't seen a lot of sleeper cells going off yet. Doesn't mean there won't be some, but obviously we should have seen more by now. And then as soon as January hits, 2026 hits, it's on. Venezuela, boom, goes to Davos. Basically just in your face, we're not part of this globalist anymore. Starts the Board of Peace, basically announces I'm creating my own UN, a better version, and brings in the countries that the UN wants nothing to do with. It's just every little thing. And then the Epstein files, we deal with that. We go through all that, letting it out, holding back what they need, letting us know there are investigations still continuing on. But here we're going to sprinkle some out. And then boom, Iran. You realize it's been 2 months and 9 days. That's it. And everything that's already happened, how crazy this year has been. This is the 250th anniversary of our country, guys. Trump is not going to waste that. He is going to do everything he can to get it all in order. And then in Iran, breaking up the cabal, breaking the globalist final hold in the Middle East, destroying City of London's hold on oil by taking over the insurance premiums, getting out Lloyd's of London. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, you've been around 600 years. Sorry. You should not, you hesitated for a minute and now we're in. I mean, it's like we're taking over the Strait of Hormuz. Trump, what did he do when he first came in? Took over the Panama Canal, took it back from China. Now Venezuela, massive oil to China. Iran now. I mean, are you guys ready? Because once Iran is settled, if we are even in charge of the Strait of Hormuz, say we don't completely take it over, but we're basically in charge of it, and we have Panama, and we have Venezuela, do you understand what that's going to do to oil prices once all that's flowing freely and they are no longer controlling, manipulating oil prices for their own gains, whether it's City of London, whether it's selling backhanded to China, whatever it is, oil prices are going to go down, way down. Don't be surprised. In Trump's first term, he got a barrel of oil to negative for a little bit. That's not a joke. Do you guys remember when gas was like $1.70? I think it was $1.75 where I was at. We could see oil tank again, get down maybe to the 40s, 30s. Who knows? But you get that happening. Well, followed by that, deflation, economic boom. You get deflation, then you get rate cuts, which are coming. And once Kevin Warsh gets in there, he's going to reform the Fed. I mean, our economy is going to go nuts. And meanwhile, we're weeding out all the financial manipulation coming out of City of London. Folks, Patriots truly are in control. They post this today. I mean, they post this yesterday, and then Trump tells us all that the war is fully in hand today. And oil plummets. This is incredible, incredible stuff, what we're witnessing. And then Trump does this. And honestly, I got to say, I never in a million years saw this coming. Trump posted the Kim Clement video from 2007 of Kim Clement prophesying about Trump. I don't know how many of you guys know who Kim Clement is. He was a prophet who died early, and a very accurate prophet. There's a lot of scumbag prophets out there, a lot of grifters out there. This guy was the real deal. And this is one of the most, anybody who's in Christian circles knows this prophecy. It's so well known because of how accurate it was. So I'm going to play it here. I'm going to play the clip that the White House shared. Actually, it was Trump's account shared on Truth Social. But this tells you guys Trump is embraced this and recognizes it. And to me, it tells me that he acknowledges it and wants to see it through. But listen to this. 2007.
This that shall take place shall be the most unusual thing, a transfiguration, a going into the marketplace, if you wish, into the news media, where Time magazine will have no choice but to say what I want them to say. Newsweek, what I want to say. The View, what I want to say. Trump shall become a trumpet, says the Lord. Trump shall become a trumpet. I will raise up the Trump to become a trumpet, and Bill Gates to open up the gate of a financial realm for the church, says the Lord. I will not forget 9/11. I will not forget what took place that day, and I will not forget the gatekeeper that watched over New York, who will once again stand and watch over this nation, says the Spirit of God.
All right, how crazy is this? I mean, and again, there's more. There's several more he had about 2 presidents, which kind of happened if you consider the fact that, like, many of us believe Trump won 2020 and Biden took over, so that would be 2 presidents at once. I mean, it is wild, okay? Wild, the prophecies. But the fact that Trump shared this, I wonder if he ever knew about before and somebody just showed him. I don't know. Or maybe, and this is probably more likely, he's known about it for a long time, and now he's choosing to signal. This he posted. Let's see. When did he post this? This was today. And then yesterday they posted the Patriots in control. Back-to-back days. How crazy is that, guys? How crazy is that? That's what they're posting. So on top of that, and then the Trump administration goes on to post this. So they have been, the Trump White House always does good stuff, right? I posted their video from the other day. It was excellent, but they're upping their game right now while we're in Iran. And the reason I think they're doing so is because I believe that Iran is the last major, okay, that's the key word right there, major foreign policy initiative he's going to have to do militarily. Everything else wouldn't make sense. We're not going to go into Ukraine. We're not going to fight Russia. We're not going to fight China. Trump knows that would be stupid, and those countries don't want it anyways. Iran, when you go down our list of enemies, okay, we have our financial deep state enemies, and that is City of London, okay, and all that's surrounding that, which is the EU, the intelligence agencies, all of that. You don't fight them by going in and doing an invasion, or we're not going to bomb England. We're not going to bomb UK. Okay, that's not how that works. By the way, City of London, even though it is a square mile within London, that system, that cabal, they're not just based in one place. So we couldn't take them out that way anyways. They are all over, especially in Europe. So they're spread out. They just come together at times, make their choices. So when I say City of London, I'm not meaning a physical location anymore. But the other thing is physical. Okay. So we've been doing these small excursions, but if you go down the list of enemies, so it's City of London, financial, intelligence agencies. That's a big guy. That's not going to be militarily. Then China, our great competitor. But again, that's more economic. We're not going to fight China militarily. It would make no sense. It wouldn't accomplish anything except World War III. Trump has no desire to do that. The Chinese also, no desire to do that. They want to be left alone. They want to get their hands, they're greedy. They want to get their hands in everything. But you notice with the Chinese, the way they act now, they just like to go in and suck out resources from places, maybe steal IP. That's how they act. But it's not like they're out there spreading communism. They're not the Soviet Union. They're not spreading like that. So China, if we push them back, they're just going to do their own thing. That's enemy number 2. Number 3 is Russia, which I actually don't think is one of our enemies anymore. I really don't. I think they're going to be allies with us before long. Once this Ukraine situation's finished, we're going to be allied with Russia. Just wait. And then Iran's next. And we just obliterated their military capabilities for the next decade at least. So that's it. We don't need a military intervention anywhere that's major. This is that last one. Now we're going to control pretty much all the world's oil as far as in and out. We won't control Iran. You know, I don't think we're setting up a proxy. I think Trump really wants to set it free to the people. That's his motif. That's what he just did in Venezuela. Gave it back to the people. He sets it free, but he controls the access points. Okay, the strategic areas that enemies can come in and take that harm the U.S. And in doing that, he is ushering in a lot of control over the entire world's oil. The only place he's not controlling is Russia, which, you know, we do sanctions and stuff with them, but that's going to flow once we ally with them, once Ukraine's over. So he's crushing all of this, guys. Once Iran's done, everything else is going to be behind the scenes, or it's going to be financial, or it's going to be justice oriented, which means arrests, cleaning stuff up, getting the grand juries are going to start coming out, but it's full on sprint. Can you feel it? I mean, it started at the beginning of this year. We're on full on sprint right now to finish this. And this is why all the influencers are going nuts, because they're showing us who really controls them, who really pays for them to become big, because now it's all assets deployed. They know they are at the end. City of London knows it's at the end. They are fading away. They are losing their control. Trump is just pulling it away from them. And so they have gone full PSYOP. All assets deployed. Every single influencer we've ever raised up, everyone we've put within MAGA, gotten close to Trump, podcast bros, YouTubers, wherever, every single influencer we've helped become big, we're calling in the favors now. This is why they're all turning against him. I really don't think there's going to be any left. I think the rest of this term, I don't think there's anybody left we're going to see fully turn on Trump. I just don't. I think they've all done it. I mean, Tucker, for me, again, he was the tip. He was the tip of that pyramid when it comes to the influencer world. And for him to go all in, and he's still going in. We're going to talk about that a little later. I mean, his last two guests, Sagar and Jetty, are you kidding me? What a joke that guy is. And Douglas McGregor, who's been wrong about everything for the last 10 years. Yeah, let's just bring him on again so he can lie more about our war strategies and his insider knowledge. Guy is a total fraud. And that's what Tucker's rolling out right now. It's insane. So all this going on, and the White House is just busting out these videos left and right. And I'm debating whether or not to play it because I might get busted for the music, but what the heck? Let's give it a shot. Let's see if it lets me go.
On the orders of the President of the United States, U.S. Central Command commences Operation Epic Fury.
I'm gonna shoot you right down.
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces.
He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. We didn't start this way. But under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their
Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism that the world will not be able to touch them for fear of those things. This is the weakest they've ever been. Now is the time to go after them. The president made the decision to go after them, take away their missiles, take away their navy, take away their drones, take away their ability to make those things so that they can never have a nuclear weapon.
Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh man, how hard does that go? That is so dope. Do you understand what we just did with the military in Iran, by the way? For years, there has been these lies being spread that we are weaker, like the China's catching up to us. We're just, we're not what we were. We're not as far ahead as everybody we used to be. And, we're still the best, but we're not where we used to be. And oh my God, what we just witnessed between Venezuela and Iran is that our military is 10 to 20 years ahead of everybody, including China. Do you realize, like, in Venezuela and Iran, their air defenses were Chinese? Are you kidding me? We just wiped them out. Like they're nothing. Our military had never been unleashed. And going back, I think going back to Clinton, there became an attack on our military. It started with Clinton when he did the don't ask, don't tell. Okay. And so then it became morale started getting lower because it was like the homosexuals were now in the military, and not everybody was comfortable with that. That started it. He didn't fund the military the same way. Bush came in, it became like really popular again, but at the same time, he eroded our military by not unleashing it. And for 20 years, because of Iraq and Afghanistan, when Bush started, our morale went way down. The Obama years, do you remember when we were out of ammo? Obama didn't fund the military at all. It was funded, but it wasn't going to what it was supposed to go to. He was using it for all their causes, quote unquote causes. Trump comes in 2016 and there's no ammo. Our military has no ammo. So he has to go full on in. And then in the Biden administration, they just got to the point where we were way below recruitment numbers. They were having like the trans people become generals and all this crazy stuff. We became woke military. And so many people, I remember when Trump first got in, and I had so many people tell me, oh, it doesn't matter. It's too late. Our military is woke. It's ruined. And I was like, no, it's not. That's a very small percentage. But the PSYOP, guys, it got to us. Well, Trump in 1 year, has taken all the good that was left in the military, amped it up, and then unleashed what we had and shown the world that nobody has a chance, not a chance. You can't sniff us. That's how far ahead we are of everybody else. What we just did to Iran is something that no one ever believed possible, except for the people the most in the know. But that's very few people. The vast majority of everybody else were fed the lie that Iran was impenetrable. You couldn't do this. And we just took it out. I mean, unreal what we're doing. And the Trump administration is flaunting this because they want us to see that strength. Now, just to prove this is so much more than what it looks like on the surface, and it really is back to City of London. By the way, guys, if you don't mind, hit that like, hit that subscribe before I forget. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Repost if you're on X. Thanks, guys. Okay, so look what Trump called out over the weekend, Mr. Keir Starmer. And look at the way he says this. UK, our once great ally, maybe the greatest of them all, is finally giving serious thought to sending 2 aircraft carriers in the Middle East. That's okay, Prime Minister Starmer. We don't need them any longer, but we will remember. We don't need people to join wars we've already won. You understand the smackdown that this is? Starmer is complete City of London controlled. I mean, UK, almost all the European countries are fully controlled. Deep state, the cabal runs them, just like it ran us for a while. But they got full control in many of these places. And Trump, in the middle of this fight we're in Iran, in the middle of it, calls out UK as being our one-time great ally. And then saying, we don't need you, but we'll remember what you did. I mean, that, my friends, there is so much in this post right here that just tells you exactly where we're at. Can you imagine any other president ever speaking to the UK like this? There's a reason they were so late to join. There's a reason they even got Spain to tell us we couldn't even use our own bases in Spain. And then Trump calling them out like this. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Trump calling out the oil tankers, saying, hey, we have covered up Strait of Hormuz, so go through. We'll cover it. Reminder, Lloyd's of London was the gatekeeper of Strait of Hormuz for 3 centuries, deciding who gets coverage, who gets shut out. King George V, Lloyd's services, all maritime peoples are in peace and amity with British Empire. So, I mean, Lloyd's of London is just straight up City of London. And again, my live this week, so I'm going to be doing a members only this week, where I will be covering the history of City of London, because just in my own research, I didn't fully understand the whole City of London aspect of this all until about a year ago. And so I've been growing in that and my knowledge of it. And the Promethean Action Ladies have really helped. Ian Burlingame, Tom Luongo, these people have helped me, but I've also been doing my own research, and I want to break it down for everybody, because I think everybody kind of has a grasp of what it is, but I don't think everybody fully understands the history and how deep it goes. So that's what I'm going to be covering in my members live this week, for anybody interested in checking that out. And if you want to become a member and you're not, you can join for free by clicking the Patreon link in the description below. But Trump got this, and this was before he called out what he did today. But he was always saying, like, oil prices might go up for a few days or maybe a couple weeks, and I'll get them back down. He did it in a day. It's just amazing. This continues, this all-out assault on the EU. Now, the EU is probably the largest arm of the cabal at this point. Putin, while Trump's taken over Strait of Hormuz, taken over the shipping routes with the insurance, Putin does this, instructs his government to consider early halt of energy supply to the European market. Those volumes will be shipped to other markets more promising to us. We're starting to choke them out. That's what it looks like to me. we're starting to choke out the City of London once and for all. See, we hit them where it hurts. And once this happens, once they start getting choked out economically, this will end the Russia-Ukraine war. Because that's only going on because of their economic interests, and this is what they want. They want to keep it going. They need it. What they really need, honestly, what City of London needs is World War III. Why do you think we keep hearing about it so much? They want all-out war. This was always the dream. It was always the goal, because it would accomplish so much for them. They would be able to expand their economic empire. They would be able to decimate, take more land. They would be able to weaken the United States all over again and expand their reach there. And then the money would just flow like crazy. That's what they always wanted. Hillary was going to be the one to bring it. She failed. Trump ever since has been holding it off. Biden tried to get us there. He tried to get us fully involved in Ukraine. The people fought back. And I think there was some more going on behind the scenes too that kept us from fully getting into that. But that's what they wanted. And they got close, but it was always held off. And now that we're taking out Iran, they've kind of lost all their ability, because the EU's and NATO, their militaries are so weak. They can't fight anything. They can't go pick a fight with Russia. They can't pick a fight with us. But with Iran, they always had the hope of inflaming things in the Middle East again and getting maybe everybody to attack Israel again, and that would get us in, and then it's world war. But what happened? Iran gets attacked. They attack all the other surrounding nations around them, all the Muslim nations around them. And what happens? Those nations turn on Iran and ally with the U.S. and Israel. That is a miracle in and of itself. And again, Trump set it up. Abraham Accords first term, second term, going and making all those trade and economic deals. Trump brought peace to the region, and he turned everyone against Iran, including Iraq, Saudi Arabia. I mean, this is wild. Qatar. Unbelievable, guys. This is insane what we're watching right now. The fact that those would all turn against Iran, it tells you they're done. We're done being messed with. Weed this crap out. And now we can get Iran. If Trump pulls this off, Iran will be settled. Hopefully the people come back in. They make it Persia again. They make it Persian again. And all of a sudden, no hold in the Middle East at all for the cabal. It's done. And now all their hopes of World War III ever happening are done. Because the only thing left for them would be to drop a nuke somewhere. But they're not going to do that. Because if City of London, if anybody in the European Union drops a nuke to start something, I mean, then they lose everything. That was always their hub. They wanted the wars fought in other places. People get sucked into them. They didn't want it on their home front. And now we're choking them out. Choke out the energy and you take away all the money. Crazy stuff. And the lies that are coming out, guys. I mean, here's the lie about the missile that it was ours. It was a Tomahawk. But people are watching. It's clearly not a Tomahawk that hit this school. This is one of the things the media is running with right now to turn everybody against Trump. Here's the missile right here. I mean, we got to be seeing through the fog of war and everything, guys. Now, but we do need to watch out because it's not all smooth sailing. We've already seen a couple things, I think, worse, sleeper cells. But we picked up encrypted messages from Iran that could have been an operational trigger for sleeper assets outside the country. According to federal government alerts sent to law enforcement agencies, intercepted transmission encoded appeared to be destined for clandestine recipients who possess the encryption key. But we picked it up. So are we ready for it? Well, Trump tells us here that it seems like we were ready for it.
Has Iran activated any sleeper cells inside the U.S.? There's reports that they have press that trigger button to activate those cells, at least abroad?
Well, they've been trying for a long time. We've been very much on top of it. One of the things we have to do is get the Democrats to stop the Democrat shutdown, because, as you know, the apparatus that looks into that, Schumer and the Democrats have shut it down, which tells you they probably hate our country a lot. But the Democrats have to open that up. But we've got very, very good intelligence into that. We know a lot of different things that have happened that have been very bad. A lot of them came in during the Biden open border period, but we have them under, we've got them, we're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them. The biggest problem we have is the Democrat shutdown. We know a lot about them, but the shutdown doesn't allow us to do what we have to do.
Do you have to take him out? Does he have a target on his back?
You mean the new supreme leader? You mean the son?
How can there be an Iran with
Well,
another
I don't want to say that, but you know, I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem.
Okay. Did you catch what he said? That they've located all the sleeper cells. That's what the Trump just said. He just said all of them. Now, maybe he's being hyperbolic. Maybe it's most of them or a great number of them. And that's always possible. But he said all of them. He said they located them that came in during the Biden administration. What do you guys think they were doing last year? Everybody's taking a dump on Pam Bondi because of the Epstein files. And it's like, again, those matter. Do not get me wrong, but they're not more important than what's going on right now in priority. Kash Patel can't do anything. He sucks. Why do you think there's such a target on those two? That's the Department of Justice. That's the FBI. That's what's been handling the domestic threats. And meanwhile, when you look at their statistics, all the arrests they've made, how they've been taking out all these child molesters, pedophiles, gang members. They've just been wiping them out like crazy. Crime, murders went down 20% in 1 year. It's the lowest rate since the early 1900s. Over 100 years, we have the safest country in over 100 years. They are killing it at their jobs, and yet they're getting all this crap because it's a psyop. It's what Trump said. It's the Epstein hoax. Not that the files are a hoax, but the focus, the direction, what they're being used for is the hoax. And yet they spent a whole year, the Trump administration, quietly. They tell us what they're doing, but it's not on TV. Just arrest after arrest after arrest. And then they got all the foot soldiers, they got everybody located, and then they could make big moves this year. It's all making sense. As we're looking back over the past year, seeing where we are now, it all is making more sense. Hindsight is definitely 2020. And look what the effects of this spreading. Syria is backing Lebanon in disarming Hezbollah. Once Hezbollah is gone, next all the money for Hamas will dry up. Okay? So you get all the money from Hamas gone. Hezbollah is now gone. Those are the biggest terror threats in the region. What happens to Palestine after that? Can Israel and Gaza finally reach agreements? Can they finally find peace with Hamas gone? I have a feeling it definitely could. This is incredible stuff, what we're seeing. It's just incredible. All right, here's some more from Trump. Just being funny, but I love this man.
Done. No, I don't want to brag. But, they said this about
sure you don't.
Things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing. No other president. The things I'm doing, nobody else was going to do it. They say it all the time, sir, could you do this? You're the only one can do it.
I love this man. I really do. So we're walking through. Okay, I see a lot of people in the chat. I'm going to get to the chat. I promise you. Okay, let me vamp. I'm almost done with this segment. Before I go on to the next segment, I'll catch up in the chat because I see a lot of stuff going on there. I want to catch up a little bit. But okay, so all this is happening. All right, and then the Don Road Doctrine continues as Cuba looks about to fall. Trump working on economic deal with Cuba that can include an off-ramp to allow the Castro family to step down from power. Do you know in Cuba right now, they've been without power for several days. The people are starting to rise up. Trump a couple weeks ago said we could take Cuba without a bullet fired. Well, it looks like we're right there. I mean, how incredible would it be to have this problem that's been for almost a century, we've been dealing with it now, gone. You guys ready to have just Cuban cigars flowing like wine around here? It's going to be awesome. It's like in Godfather 2 before the revolution happened. It's a great place to vacation, man. They get the casinos back up, the hotels back up. It's a beautiful island. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. You know what we're witnessing too? I think it's very interesting. We're witnessing the end of communism in the Western Hemisphere. Venezuela was like the big communist regime in our hemisphere gone. Cuba's about to fall. We're taking out, we're working on Colombia. Trump, while all this is going on in Iran, he just had this massive group meeting with all these nations down in South America to all sign off on getting rid of the cartels. He's literally doing everything. He's doing everything, guys. It's unbelievable. I mean, this is all stuff that, like, if one president did one of these things, we would look back and say that president accomplished stopping Iran, and that was amazing. It's like looking back at Reagan and being like, he ended the Soviet Union, which, despite Reagan's flaws, which he had many, he did the Soviet Union and he did the economy well. And we look at him as like the great, you know, I used to look at him as like the great modern president. It was like, you know, he was the idyllic conservative president. Now I look back and I'm like, Reagan made a lot of mistakes, but that's okay. I'm not saying he was a bad guy or a bad president. I think, well, it's complicated. There's a lot going on with Reagan, but I ultimately think he was a good man who was stuck and made poor choices as a result. He didn't have the fire to fight back that Trump has. And maybe he didn't have the people with him either. I don't know. But that's besides the point right now. The point is that Reagan accomplished that, and we looked at him for decades as like one of the greatest presidents ever. Trump is doing way more than Reagan. Way more. Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, fixing the economy, taking out, restructuring our trade. And I don't think he's even close to done. We're a year and 2 months in. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is what we're watching is just, it's historic. We're living in the most impactful presidency since Lincoln. And I don't even think at this point you can argue it. Maybe Roosevelt. That's the only other one who's even in the discussion. Impactful. I'm not saying you like him. I'm just saying impactful for how he's changing the nation. And then Trump blasted this out tonight. As soon as Iran started feeling themselves again. If Iran does anything that stops the flow of oil within the Strait of Hormuz, they'll be hit by the United States 20 times harder than they've been hit thus far. Additionally, we'll take out easily destroyable targets, make it virtually impossible for Iran to ever be built back as a nation again. Death, fire, and fury will rain upon them. I hope and pray it doesn't happen. There's a gift from the U.S. to China and all those nations that heavily use the Hormuz Strait. Hopefully it's a gesture that will be greatly appreciated. You know, he just called in China, basically. He said, China, you got to tell the Iranians to chill. That's part of what this is right here. The fact that he's saying this is a gift from us to China, that's a call out. That's a calm. Hey, China, you better help us get Iran under control because they're trying to feed you guys cheap oil and you guys have been running backroom deals with them for decades. It's time you guys stepped in and said something here because otherwise I will wipe them off the face of the earth. That's what he's saying. And after what just happened, everybody's going to believe him because Trump just proved he's not bluffing. He's not taco. Trump will chicken out. So stupid. Trump just put the definitive, I don't chicken out. You call my bluff, I'll destroy you with this Iran situation. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But this is also, in my opinion, a call to the Iranian people. It's time to step up. It's time. We're waiting on you guys to step up and take it over. So it's time. It's time. Let's see it. And then again, I told you guys we're killing them financially. Well, around 8%. This is from Bloomberg too. This isn't some side conservative outlet that doesn't have a big run out there. This is a mainstream media outlet. Around 8% of staff at the Bank of England will leave in the next few months as part of an effort to ease pressure on the bank's strained finances. We're doing it, folks. We're crushing it. All right. I'm going to move on to the next section in a minute. If you enjoy what you're watching so far, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you for that. Actually, let me do this part real quick. I just wanted to show you guys. Rasmussen, which is one of the most accurate pollsters, especially when it came to the elections, 52% support Trump's decision to strike. We were told everybody hates it. And I'll tell you, all the news channels are running with the bad polls. But Rasmussen has 52% supporting Trump. And then since this is the Real Clear Politics average, since we went in, his approval's up a point. So that's all you need to know, guys. As long, and I said it from the beginning, if he does this fast and we achieve victory, it'll only help because Americans love winning. We love it. So, all right, let's see here. Still got fumigate Mexico than Canada. Well, Canada will be mostly taken care of by the UK and everybody. Their financial system collapsing. The Canadians will figure out something to do with that. So, stay out of the chat. Why, Roger? What am I missing? Let's see. We need Brazil to get on board. Did you guys see Bolsonaro's about to win? He was he's doing huge stuff right now. So Jay Tyra says Reagan tore down a wall, fought communists from abroad. Trump built a wall and fought communists from within. Amen to that, man. He's taking them all out. Do we have a troll in the house? All right, I'm monitoring. I haven't seen anything that can't stay here. So, MAGA's crushing it. We are, man. What we're seeing is incredible. 401ks are suffering. Okay, Larry, are you going to say anything smart? How are 401ks suffering? Do you know the Dow is still near record highs? I mean, really? Do you understand how 401ks work? I guess not. Since Trump came in, the stock market is way up. So if you're saying, anybody wants to make that argument, that's just stupid. I think he's trolling. Okay, I'm watching. I'll kick him out. I do need to make you a mod, country. You've been around long enough. We need a couple more mods in the house, especially because we've been missing Brett. We've been missing Brett lately. So okay, let's move on. I got a couple other things I want to talk about tonight. Just more and more proof that they're going all out. Okay, like I said, all assets deployed. We are all right, Larry. You need to go find something else to do. Goodbye. You know, guys, I welcome always disagreements. I welcome people being respectful and honorable and saying, hey, I have issues with this, or I don't understand this, or why are you talking about this? But if you're guys going to come in and suck and you're going to be, calling names or being a jerk, then you're gone. Sorry. And so Larry, you're gone. And notice how I spoke directly to Larry's criticism when he said 401ks are dumb, which is a retarded thing to say. So I knew he was retarded, and then he didn't answer me with, well, the stock market's actually down 10%, which is what you do in a respectful debate because you actually have something to say. No, what Larry replied with was, MAGA are mentally challenged. And so it's like, okay, you're a retard and you literally don't know what you're talking about. So goodbye. And I love it though. Bring on the trolls because I'll ban them all, but at the same time, they show me I'm onto something because there's no other reason to show up to my show, my little show here, a few hundred people watching, okay, across 3 platforms. So if I have trolls coming into my little chat and they're leaving all the other guys alone, we must be onto something, right? That I look at that as validation. So, I look at trolls and goblins and morons in my chat as validation. So thanks, Larry. Thanks for validating that we're onto something here. And now we don't have to hear your dumb words anymore. Okay. Speaking of grifters, Ian Carroll got called out today by Ajax. I'm always calling out these guys, and Ian Carroll is one of the worst. Again, 1.4 million followers. This guy came out of nowhere. He said this, we are losing dramatically. This is in response to about America's military in Iran right now. And he says, we're losing dramatically, which is just so stupid. But this is where you find the true blues. Okay. And so tonight, I just wanted to shout out Ajax, who's been one of my favorites. This guy's awesome and he's not that huge, but he's big enough on X. And so shout outs to the real ones calling out the grifters. And it just shows me that, we're on to something. We see these guys and other smart people are seeing them too. But, so these guys are the Ian Carroll types, they are all just falling apart right now. One of my favorite people to go after right now is Kim.com. Do you guys remember Kim.com when he was a thing? Like he was this tech bro who knew stuff from the dark web and, he built a following that way. And anyways, he's been spazzing out and it's wonderful to see because when all these guys are spazzing out, it tells you exactly who they are. Exactly who they are. And there's only 2 options. They're either controlled opposition or they're complete and utter morons. Now I'll say that for the most part, the complete and utter morons, they don't talk as much. But when they do talk, they say something. But the ones who have more thought out stuff, they're the controlled ones. And speaking of that, Tucker had on Douglas McGregor today. And I just wanted to show you a couple things from Douglas McGregor, who is... He's one of the worst because he has built up a reputation over time because of his military ties, where people just assume he's a good one. He's a real one. And he is just wrong all the time and has been for a long time. But of course, Tucker platforms him today in the midst of Iran stuff. But here's an old post from January 20th, 2024, Douglas McGregor, which is the day Trump was inaugurated. The Russians are not fools. They know we're not going to have a come to Jesus moment and figure out there's no threat from Russia. They won't stand by and let us bomb Iran to the Stone Age. Really? Because that's exactly what just happened. That just stuff cracks me up, man. Here's Douglas McGregor being wrong about Venezuela. Intervention in Venezuela with the aim of replacing Maduro will end up like Afghanistan. Invade, bomb, and spend $2 trillion for 20 years. It wasn't even 20 hours. Do you guys see, Listen, and one of the reasons I can laugh about this is because I used to get sucked in. I used to, because, you know, we all go through phases of awakening. And so for me, it was like the Afghanistan war or Iraq, Afghanistan started waking me up, then Obama. And so like there was a time where I'd listen to Douglas McGregor and I was like, man, he sounds so smart and he's anti all this stuff I'm against. And so I got sucked in. And then I realized, dude, you're wrong all the time. What is happening? And so red flags, right? When you're wrong once, fool me once, okay, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. It's, you know, but it keeps happening, and never with an explanation of why wrong. Just move on to the next thing. Well, that's how you know who a grifter is, or a shill, you know? And so it's unbelievable how bad these people are. But see, it's easy to suck people in because they act like they're on our side. They appeal to your emotions. Okay. And the one thing they do, and this is what I learned in the church as well. Okay. So I grew up in the Episcopal Church, and I grew up with the very Western eschatology belief of like everything's going to go bad and the world has to get terrible for Jesus to come back. I was raised in that. And so it was always, everything was always looking for everything to get worse, because technically if things got worse, it was actually a good thing, which is a really sick way to look at the world. But millions of Christians still look at the world that way. But for me, I got tired of every single apocalypse not turning out. And I was like, something is wrong here. What are we missing? And, you know, all the prophets always wrong, all the, you know, on the timing, and the rapture just never happened. But it's the same thing with these guys. They're doing the exact same thing. Now, in the church, they don't know that they're grifting, most of them, or they don't know that they're saying something that's, you know, not biblical. They're duped because of documents in the 1800s that got into notes in the Schofield Bible. And so they don't even know they're wrong. So they do it with conviction. But these guys, these political guys, do it. They're just grifting. They are just flat out lying to us to keep us scared all the time, to keep us dependent on their secret information and their secret sources so that we stay in the loop and don't trust anybody. And that's the thing. You see, the only way we as Americans can win, the only way we can win, the only way any nation can win, is to have leaders we can galvanize behind and trust and follow. Because the belief that if we all just went our own ways and lived on our own, which is like the big libertarian thing, well, you know what that means? That means the first army that's organized comes in and destroys you. See, the founding fathers were brilliant because they created the presidency. They knew that there were benefits, even though they didn't want a king, but you had to have a strong man or woman, but mostly strong man, to lead in times of war, in times of trouble. It's the only way to win. A Congress or an oligarchy, a democracy, moves too slow. People might not agree, and it'll ruin your military operations and you fall apart. That's why the president is the commander in chief, and the military is entrusted to the one person. And that's what was so brilliant about it. Well, see, the psyops that always keep you in perpetual fear and always keep you doubting everybody also teach you to never get behind a leader. And if you never get behind a leader, if you never allow yourself to be led, if you never trust anybody, a movement can never happen. A people can never find freedom. Imagine if the Americans in 1770s had not come behind Washington. Imagine that. We wouldn't have a nation today. We'd be a colony of England. Like full on. Much more. Some people would say we still are in some ways, but Trump is declaring independence right now. As we speak, he's working towards it. full independence, financial and political and economic and geographic, all of it, in a way we haven't had except for a short while in the 1800s. We're getting back to that, and we're going to see it like we've never seen it before, thanks to Trump. But if they had never galvanized behind George Washington, we'd not have a country. See, leaders are needed. They just are. And when you are this person, Douglas McGregor, or you're Tucker Carlson, or you are, go down the list, and all you ever do is crap on everybody in leadership all the time. And don't get me wrong, much of the time it's warranted. Many leaders have failed us. Many of them, most of them, I'd say, have failed us. And that sucks. And it just goes to show the imperfection of man. And Trump isn't perfect either. And we've had so many bad leaders leading up to Trump that there's a lot of people who don't want to trust him either. Look at what he's accomplished in 1 year. After the Biden years, how awful the Biden years were, how big a hole he got us into. But people are so doomed. They're so black-pilled that because everything's not perfect in a year, Trump has struggling poll numbers. Now, I think the poll numbers are off, and I think his real approval is probably over 50%, but still, they should be 70%. But the constant dooming, you add that to the fact we've had several terrible leaders in a row who have lost trust, and then you have a nonstop media grind on both sides. Both sides are guilty of this one. So the leaders broke trust, and then you have both sides media just hammering all the time. You can't trust these people. They're terrible, blah, blah, blah. And so when one finally does come along who's trustworthy, who's actually doing it, who's proving it, the people still, it's taken a long time for them to wake up. And that sucks. And that's why you see these people who, and this is why I have such an issue with, the people who say like, oh, they're actually MAGA. They're trying to help Trump, but they're hammering him on everything. And they're like, we just got to hold him to account. I'm like, no, what you need to do if you're smart and if you actually cared and if you actually knew what you were doing and you weren't paid opposition, which I believe they are, many of them, what you'd actually be doing is saying, I'm critical of this, but let me explain why I think Trump's doing it. You would be doing it with grace, and you would be doing it in a way to help the people understand and still give the benefit of the doubt. But when you full on come out and say, Trump's a neocon, this proves it, right there, I know you're fake. You're fake as hell. And we can't trust those people. They break trust quickly. McGregor again 2 years ago. It seems the undercurrent inside the Beltway is to go to war with Iran to solve the problem in Gaza. China and Russia will not stand by and watch us pulverize Iran into rubble. This is insane. This guy, man, he's just so wrong. There are indications the Egyptians are prepared to invade Israel. This is last year. Should this happen, they'll target Israeli defense systems. We must end this conflict. No, the Egyptians were never going in. The Ukrainian army relies on whatever men and boys the Ukrainian military's press gangs could force the uniform send from that is melting away in the face of the Russian onslaught. Yeah. I mean, this guy anyways. The reason I keep calling these people out, guys, is it's so important to... First of all, I want to say I don't like spending time on these people. Okay, I don't. It's not fun for me. I hate diving into Candace Owens' show. I'd rather just forget she exists. But the problem is they have so much influence that everybody possible needs to be showing the truth, because that's the only way you whittle away at their influence over time. Because when people see truth, they do tend to wake up. They see a claim, and then they see what actually is true, and they'll be like, oh, That's concerning. And sometimes they need to see it a lot before they wake up. Sometimes emotionally, they'll never wake up. They just don't want to. So they'll ignore it and they'll just, whatever. Those people you don't worry about though. You worry about the ones you can pull off. And so that's why I cover this stuff, just to show it over and over again. You can't ignore them. You can't ignore them if you have any kind of influence at all. You just can't. And listen, the greatest of all, Jesus, he didn't ignore them. He constantly went to the Pharisees, called them out to their faces, and then showed the people why they were wrong. He demonstrated the difference between religion and reality, faith, like what real faith is, what real power is, walking with God. He demonstrated that, and he constantly clashed with them. And so you don't ignore these people. You confront them, you expose them, and that's how we win the PSYOP war. The PSYOP war cannot be won by ignoring it, because they have more resources and more outlets. They control the algorithms, and so the only way to beat them is with truth. Otherwise, you just let them win. You let them win. So, okay. Last thing, I want to show that Trump's making a big push on this right now is the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is everywhere right now. And so Trump called it out yesterday. Great job by hardworking Scott Presler on Fox and Friends, talking about using the talking filibuster to pass the Save America Act. It must be done immediately. I, as president, will not sign other bills until this is passed. So he's going all in on this with the Senate. So this is Trump warring militarily with Iran, warring politically now with his own Senate. This is a declaration of war to Congress. Not the watered down version, go for the gold, must show voter ID, proof of citizenship, no mail-in ballots, no men and women's sports, no transgender mutilation for children, don't fail. This is be Trump's last big legislative act before the midterms. If they somehow still lose the midterms after this, which I don't think they would, but he knows he's got to push this right now, because one of two things is going to happen. They're actually going to either push it and get it through, which would be a miracle and would change so much for us, or they'll get exposed in not doing it. And Trump is going to be able to use that as well. Listen to what Trump had to say about this today.
They're doing everything possible because they know if we get this, they probably won't win an election for 50 years, okay? And maybe longer. And they're going to fight like hell. But boy, do they get killed. Because even the Democrats, you saw the numbers today, Democrats voted 86% that this stuff should be passed. The Democrats. With Republicans, you're at 98%. But Democrats are at 86%, except for the people that run the Democrat Party, because they want to try and win elections illegally. It's the only reason you vote against voter ID is because you want to cheat. There's no other reason. They come up with reasons. They say, it's racist. That's their number one, racist. Then you have to explain it, and they're just sitting there mumbling. They can't explain it.
50 years, he said. They can't win without it. So Trump knows. Trump knows that if we fix our elections, it's over. He added this today as well. This one's a little longer. I'll make it full screen.
But we're going to push them to get it done, because I don't think you can politically exist if you're not going to do voter ID and these things. I don't think the people in this country will stand for it. So I'm making my biggest plea tonight. It'll make you, and I'm not doing it for this reason at all. It'll guarantee the midterms. It'll guarantee the midterms. If you don't get it, big trouble, my opinion. If you get this, your midterms, and they know it. For two reasons. Number one, they won't be able to cheat. And number two, the people are demanding it. Every time I go out, Save America, sir, Save America Act. We want the Save America Act, sir. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about housing. They don't talk about anything. That's what they talk about. And if you send it up that you're going to win the midterms at levels that you can't even believe, and you're going to win every election for a long time until somebody really screws things up, and hopefully that won't happen. But I've never been more confident that if we keep these promises and deliver on this popular agenda, the American people will stand with us in overwhelming numbers, just as they did in 2024. I heard Mike say it's actually 78 million votes, but it was actually 86. You know, they cheated like hell on the list, but it was too big to rig. Remember? I won 3 times. First time was great. Second time they cheated like hell. It was COVID. And their cheating was at an inspirational level. We can't let that ever happen again. And then they cheated again in the last election, but I went up. The term I used most was too big to rig. You got to go out. Don't believe, because we had polls having us way up. I said, don't believe the polls. Go out and vote. Make it too big to rig. And that's what happened. A couple of races they cheated on, they got away with it. A couple of Senate races, my opinion. But we have to make it too big to rig, and that's what we did. But we shouldn't have to win an election that way. You're going to have a hard time winning elections that way. So you got to get that passed. And
I mean, a couple of huge statements there. So number one, he said, if you pass this, I guarantee you win the midterms. Guarantees it. That's pretty wild right there. And then I thought it was very interesting how he tells the story of how they won 2024, that they did cheat and they just made it too big to rig. That was Trump's story the entire time. Now, there's other stories out there like Emerald Robinson, who's a total grifter. She's out there saying like there's this other story. I don't know if there's any truth to that story. Emerald lies about so many other things. But the fact is like Trump tells us right there, we just overwhelmed it. And that's what they did in 2016 as well. Stop a little bit here, but overwhelm overall. But Trump's also telling the Republicans here that you guys don't have that. You guys aren't going to get any overwhelming victories without me. It's not going to happen, but pass this and I guarantee you win. Now, Trump's got more up his sleeve because I have a feeling, getting the SAVE Act passed is going to be very difficult, very difficult. Even if they did a standing talking filibuster to go back to it, it's going to be extremely difficult. But here's Trump calling it out. We can never allow them to take to win again. And I like this take right here. By the way, I like Awaken Outlaw. He's a good account to follow. But it says he already telling us Democrats won't win in November. That's almost certainly going to be attributable to election reforms going to take place in the interim now and then, making it impossible for them to cheat to win. This isn't about politics, goes a lot deeper than that. Problem includes Republicans, but first things first, Democrats cannot be allowed to reassert control because the concept of enemies, foreign and domestic, applies here. We cannot allow our literal adversaries, insurrectionists, to steal another election because there'd never be a chance to right the ship. I kind of agree with this. I do think we could still win 2028. I don't think the midterms are the end of the world. I think they're very, very important, and they could significantly slow Trump down if they win. But just as I see everything, Trump will still be commander-in-chief. They won't be able to impeach him because even if they win the Senate, they won't have the 66 votes to convict him. And then they get J.D. Vance. I mean, the midterms are not the end of the world, but they are very important if we want to see this acceleration continue. If we win the midterms, 2028 is going to be a breeze. If we win the midterms, 2028 is lock it in. J.D. Vance or Rubio, but it'll probably be J.D. Vance, they're going right in. And I believe that the Republicans will hold the majority again for maybe a full 8 years. We'll see. Because if 2028's won, which we're on track to win it big, then because I just don't see the presidency being lost on Trump's watch. I'm sorry. So if it's won, I think they set back the ticket. The Democratic Party once and for all. It'll be the final death knell to the Democratic Party as it is. But still, very important midterms. And I do think Trump's making moves to make sure that the elections are shored up before the midterms. And here's why. Look at this. This came out this morning. Trump says the FBI secretly seized Maricopa County election records as voting investigation expands. So here's Trump. Great. FBI secretly seizes election records. So that's Trump directly sharing it. We've already got Georgia, now Arizona. There is some talk from people who know things, and we'll see if they're right on this, but that there's going to be major election news coming out soon. And that, my friends, is either, if it's true, it's going to force the SAVE Act through, or it'll lead to other opportunities where Trump can call like a national emergency. So guys, we have, there's a lot of hope right here. And isn't it incredible? Again, just like going back to my Reagan comparison, isn't it incredible what Trump's doing all at once? Venezuela, Iran, Cuba, and fixing elections all at once. The cartels, taking out the cartels, getting our Western Hemisphere in order. I mean, it's unbelievable. Bankrupting the city of London. I mean, taking over the oil. It's just all at the same time. This is all going on right now. So this is just crazy what he's pulling off. And here's Brian Cates talking about the grand jury. So FBI is expanding its criminal probe into suspected election irregularities, obtaining a large tranche of voting records from Arizona's largest county with a recent grand jury subpoena. They must have gotten that grand jury in Arizona. See, we can't do anything with the D.C. grand juries, but the state grand juries are just fine. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. Sources who spoke only on condition of anonymity because of the secrecy of the grand jury probe said FBI agents are receiving gigabytes of electronic election data from Maricopa County. Subpoena comes 5 years after GOP-led Arizona State Senate conducted a lengthy investigation. Guys, it's coming. It's coming. So we knock out the elections. It's going to be smooth sailing. And he might pull all this off this year. Absolutely incredible. All right, let me get into the chat for a minute. By the way, if you're enjoying the show, please like, please subscribe. If you're MAGA, baby, if you still trust President Trump, hit that like and subscribe. You'll like it here. I got a couple other things I'm going to close with that are pretty short, but let me get into the chat for a minute here. Proves that President Trump can multitask. Amen. Trump's focusing on the king's pawns, taking them out first. Yep. Oh, yeah. I covered that the other day. Trish says, what about the total clown show Democrats behaved at Reverend Jackson's funeral? It was atrocious. The absolute lies, especially from Obama and Kamala, were just, I couldn't watch the whole thing. I saw some clips, but man, they just, it's insane. The lies coming out of those people is just sick. But again, I say it over and over again, we're at the point where it's all assets deployed. So you have MAGA grifter influencers, not real MAGA, FAGA we'll call them, the FAGA influencers, the grifter influencers, they're all going off saying, turning against Trump, but doing it one way. Whoa, they're not really America first. They're trying to co-opt MAGA movement. Whereas the Democrats, all they're doing is just going meaner, and because their base already believes Trump is the devil. So what you do with those people, you don't have to say much more in terms of lies, but what you do is you inflame them more. You get them heated up and you get them believing that we are at the end of the world. So they will show up to vote, protest, and maybe get violent. And they want that. That's what the Democrats are doing. And that's why they go so crazy. Kamal's not smart enough to know if she did cheat, and she did. That's hilarious. Yeah, Hobbs totally stole it from Carrie Lake. You're absolutely right there, Jay. What's the chance? Sacred Grove asks, what's the chance Kamal only won states that didn't require voter ID to act? Well, I mean, you said it right there, man. That's exactly right. And that's all you need to know. Trish says, no denying Trump's patriotism. I completely agree. Sacred says, we won't allow another administration to mess this up again. We're wide awake now. Yeah, see, and I'm kind of there too. I'm telling you guys, I personally, I'm not terrified of losing the midterms. I know it's bad, and I know it won't be helpful, and I know it'll slow things down. But I also think Trump and them have a backup plan, just like they did with tariffs. I think they have things in order. Because you remember, even if you lose the Senate and the House, you're still the president. You still have executive power, which is massive. You still have power of the judicial. So you have FBI on your side. You have the DOJ. You still control all that. So you get to bring the justice. And, you know, if you push Trump into a corner, what's going to happen? You have the military and you have all the intelligence agencies too. So it's not like Trump will be, you know, powerless if we lose. It's just gonna become a different fight. And then the fight will be to make sure foreign policy is all taken care of. Make sure that, you know, as much justice as can be brought or set up, and then make sure that the 2028 election is secure. That's what Trump's three things he has to do if they win the midterms. If the Republicans hold the midterms, then we're going to see more acceleration of gaining ground, moving things forward. But Trump's getting so much done these first 2 years, they won't be able to get it undone with him as president. And I don't see any way they lose 2028. Not with this, not with who the Democrats are running. They have nobody, guys. They don't have anybody. I mean, right now, Kamala's polling the highest out of the Democrats. Now, somebody could come along we don't see yet, but I'm telling you, it's the weakest field we've maybe ever seen. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, don't doom if the midterms turn out bad. But Trump's obviously pushing for it, and I don't think we need to worry. I really don't. At this point, as long as there's not massive betrayal or these guys, this team that Trump's assembled, as long as they don't give up, then we win. It's just a matter of how quickly. The more elections we win, the faster we win. If we get some setbacks in the Congress, then it slows down a little bit, but it still happens. That's how I see it. And somebody said, Rumdog says, all Trump needs to do is end income tax, property tax, and fix the stock market. Well, you got to understand the stock market is important, but it's down on the priority list. And as far as income tax, that takes constitutional amendment, and good freaking luck. To get a constitutional amendment pack, you need 2/3 of Congress to vote for it, which will never happen these days. And we're 6 to 8 years away from having a Congress strong enough to pass a constitutional amendment. And then you need 3/4 of the states to ratify it. We're not there yet. We're not there. So it's going to be a while till income tax goes. But what he can do is he can set it up, which I believe he's trying to with the tariffs. So that could be done. Trish asks, why is GOP not passing the SAVE Act? Well, the reason why the SAVE Act hasn't passed yet is because of stupid Senate rules, the filibuster. There's no way they can get Democrats to pass the 60 votes. They need 60 votes to break the filibuster. What the Republicans could do if they had spine is they could eliminate the filibuster, but they don't want to do that. And the reason they don't want to do that is not what they're saying. They're all like, oh, it's preserving tradition. And no, that's BS. It's total nonsense. The reason is because keeping the filibuster gives them an excuse to not get more done. You got to remember, while the House replenishes every 2 years. So the House Republicans are mostly MAGA now. We've gotten rid of most of the bad eggs. But in the Senate is every 6 years. The Senate is the oligarchy of our country. They are, and they are entrenched. And there is still a lot of Republicans in the Senate who are deep state, who are uniparty, and who don't want Trump to win. They have to stick with it, okay? It is the Save America Act, you're right. They have to play along with Trump a little bit, or else they'll lose their seats. The voters will kick them out. But they know how to play the game to slow walk everything. So they won't pass it unless we put all the pressure in the world on them. Am I going to get a Mike Evans jersey? Probably not. So, okay. Last couple of things. I just want to show you how much we're winning. So, LGBT identification is dropping 25% down in the last 2 years. Bisexual and women is down 23%, non-binary down 43%. Isn't it amazing what happens when culture changes? See, the Trump win is so much more than just the politics and it's also the culture. They were trying to destroy us, our identity. And so now, it'll go back down and settle down in traditional numbers, but we're not going to see all this craziness keep spreading, the trans kids and everything. And so that's all going away, but just incredible stuff. The Trump administration announced Small Business Association banning foreigners and non-citizens from taking out SBA-backed small business loans. Guys, this should never have happened in the first place. I cannot believe the Small Business Administration was giving out loans to foreigners, but they were, but no longer. So thank God they fixed it, but that's insane. But independent gas stations, hotels will soon be in American hands again. Foreigners no longer get a leg up. So just wild. Kelly Loeffler reveals $8.8 billion in suspected pandemic fraud from borrowers in California alone. That's insane. So this is just crazy stuff, but undoing, righting wrongs, thank God. And then I wanted to share this from Bam today. So Bam is, I believe he's got the most accurate model tracking the stock market I've found. He's also a friend of mine, so full disclosure, but his model is showing the most bearish stock market ahead that we've seen in a very long time. So his model is projecting a crash in Bitcoin, silver and gold melt up, and UVIX melt up, which is, betting against the market basically. So next 7 months represents a period in SPY, that's S&P 500, looks as bearish than any I've ever forecast. So just a heads up, guys, nothing is for certain ever. But when Bam's model says stuff like this, I take notice. I do believe they've already been trying to do it. Trump averted it because I think Trump wants to decide when it crashes. He knows it has to. It's the only way to purge it. There has to be a massive correction in the stock market in order to get back on track to where it should be and to weed out all the all the bad guys laundering their money, basically manipulating the markets. It has to crash to send them out. So Trump knows this, and I think it's about timing for him. And that's why he keeps pushing it back. This just hasn't been time yet. But it will happen when the time's right. Trump has shown he's got control of the markets. And so, yeah, we'll see this. But what Bam's model tracks is all the money movement and what they're all putting their money in. And it tells you when they're going to safe havens or not. And that's why his model is screaming we're headed to a major bear market. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, look, guys, I appreciate you. Please hit that like and subscribe. I think we're in for a wild few months. Guess what? I'll be here with you the whole way, helping you guys navigate it to the best of my ability. That's what I do. I appreciate you watching. If you're new, please hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live 4 to 5 times a week. I also do members lives, members podcasts, if you're interested in that. And then I do cut up my lives into some segments sometimes. If you notice other videos on my channel, it's usually cut ups of the live shows. But the live shows are the main show 4 or 5 nights a week. So hit the subscribe, hit the notification, hit that like, help me get the channel out there. And if you have the hype button, hit that, because that helps me more than anything else. Although not everybody gets it. But thank you guys for watching. Let's end in a prayer. The reason we always end in a prayer is because prayer works. It's God who gave us this miracle of Trump to save our nation, get it back on track. And if we don't recognize that, and if we don't keep praying, we are stupid and we could lose everything we've gained and more. So let's give it up and take a second to pray, send it out, and then we'll close, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today, Lord. Bless everybody here. I thank you, God, for all of them, for their support, especially of the members. God, that I get to do this show. And God, I just thank you that we're winning. And Lord, I pray that you just keep awakening eyes and hearts and minds, Lord. Just open them up, see what's really going on, and see what this miracle we've been given of this Trump administration, this man that we never would have expected to become a great leader, is truly a great leader and trying to get us back on track in so many ways. God, we pray for wisdom, protection, and boldness for the Trump administration, President Trump himself. Cover them, Lord. Protect them. And God, help them navigate all the insane, crazy, difficult things they're trying to pull off. And Lord, we pray for peace, prosperity, and justice to come to our country like never before. And we thank you, Lord, for all you do for us. Bless everybody here, Lord. Bless their bodies, their minds, their relationships, God, and their finances. Just be with them in every possible way, Lord, so that we can all thrive as Americans and make an impact on our families, friends, and the communities we live in. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. God bless you guys. Love you. Thanks for watching tonight. Hit the like, hit the subscribe on your way out, and repost if you're on X. And I will see you all tomorrow. God bless. Take care.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night. Red and blue shouting, nobody's right. Smoke in the streets, truth under attack. Everybody's loud, nobody's got facts. Feeds keep scrolling, nerves stay tight. Matchsticks flicked in the dead of night. They sell fear, cheap package the lies, while the clock keeps ticking, empires on fire. Can't sit quiet while the world's on edge. Lines in the sand, standing on the ledge. No script, no leash, no polish, quiet. Just a voice in the dark and a spark to the wire. This is in our brain.